That's a little bright for you. Turn that down. You're used to the bright lights, though.
I'm so amazed to watch this over the years, how you've just shrunk,
Yeah, everything's shrunk down in size.
Because it was hell. I mean, you guys
I started in '98 and the cameras were
like a one-man band thing. You were carrying the...
Oh, yeah. We had the whole pack. I'm prepping for the state fair now, so I don't
yeah.
You going to be out there at the fair then, I'm assuming?
We will.
Big election year. All right. Okay, set. Audio on. We're good. All right, so I'll just hold the mic, and then so I guess we'll just start with kind of going into the primary, just a couple days away. What's your strategy? How are you going into this with a very optimistic outlook?
Yeah, I think so. That's the way this campaign's been run from beginning to end. This is about a Minnesota that cares deeply about uniting us, making sure that we're bringing folks together for problem solving. And I think we've made a campaign from beginning to end that was positive, that was hopeful, that brought us in. And now we just need to execute. And I said, whether it would be my time as a coach or my time in the military, I know that execution and planning happens on the front end. We're there. Now it's just get our people approached.
Now you're running in a very crowded Democratic field. All of them, obviously, have been coworkers of yours and working together on a lot of key issues.
Yeah.
Going into this, how are you feeling? I mean, how are you feeling? Because you're up against some very well-known Democrats as well.
Right. And folks that that work for the same common goal. I think what's different here is that, especially now, it's about a difference in style and effectiveness. I think as the Star Tribune said, this is the coalition-building team. This is the team that can heal some of those gaps, and I think that separates Peggy Flanagan and I from the rest of the field. And I think, quite honestly, it certainly separates us from the GOP field. So it's been a hard campaign. People are out there talking about it, but it's the inspiring piece of it that this is at the core of our democracy. This is thousands of conversations with Minnesotans about their hopes and dreams and aspirations, and I think Peggy and I are trying to make sure that this campaign lifts those voices up.
Right. When you were here earlier this past spring at Bemidji State University, the question was asked, whoever the endorsed candidate is, whoever comes through on the primary, would you be willing to endorse whoever wins that election if it's not yourself?
On the primary afterwards?
Yep.
Oh, yes, certainly. I said I had always planned on winning a primary. I think one of the questions was about the DFL endorsing convention.
The DFL endorsing convention,
yeah, it's a little bit different, and I always planned on running in a primary. I think it just gives much more voice to a broader group of people. That's decided by 1,200 people on a weekend in Rochester. This will be hundreds of thousands of Minnesotans who've now gotten a better look at what these campaigns look like. This is a vetting process to know what you're getting as you go forward.
So how crucial is the greater Minnesota vote to your campaign and succeeding on Tuesday?
Yeah, two things. I think it's critically important to the campaign, but more importantly, it's critically important to governing. We're getting in the nation and in the state where we build these coalitions just to win elections that divide the state. So this greater Minnesota versus the Twin Cities, I think I'll do very well, certainly in greater Minnesota, but I think we'll do very well in the Twin Cities. That's the only key, and I think that's what people have embraced in this campaign. We're talking about rejecting this notion that we're anything but one Minnesota. So I think votes will turn out for that. I think people are hungry for that. I don't think they want to see this battle between Minneapolis, St. Paul, and greater Minnesota.
Now you targeted some of your campaign already at Tim Pawlenty. Do you feel that he is going to be the Republican, the victor coming out of the Republican primary?
Well, I think there's a possibility. I will say about this during that campaign that I was at thousands of different conversations, hundreds of meetings and things like that. Jeff Johnson was out doing all the work. I would run into Jeff Johnson. I would walk with Jeff Johnson in parades. I would talk to Jeff Johnson. He would ask me about my family. I'd ask about him. I can't say the same thing about former Governor Pawlenty, but I think name recognition and big outside money makes a difference. But we'll see. I mean, the Republicans will decide that. But that's our assumption that would be. But I do have to, I think, for all the candidates in this who've gone out and done the work to get there, a thank you to them and their families for doing the hard work and not just dependent on money and airtime.
All right, so after Tuesday, if you're moving on, what's your strategy? Do you hit the ground running right off the bat that Wednesday morning?
Absolutely. I think that's one thing that my work ethic and my team work ethic is